I have an LR3 instrument cluster from a 2006 Land Rover, and the customer was saying that it's completely dead. It has no power. When he was wiggling the connector over here, the power would intermittently come back. So they did actually try to resolder the connector up here. They were not able to do a very good job, so then they decided to bring it in and have us take a look. We can see that they did some work over here, but essentially we're going to need to clean that up a little bit and then reflow all of the joints over here. Zooming in a little bit closer, we can see we do have right there a little bit of a crack. Let's look at some of these other pins. Some of these other pins actually, I think, look okay. It's possible that the big offenders were right here, but since they worked on it, it's going to be very hard to see any sort of damage since they've covered it up with some new solder. The customer also requested that we reflow this chip. It's also known to have crack joints on some of the legs over here, so we'll go ahead and do that as well. First thing I'm going to do is clean up the original work they did with some isopropyl alcohol. And I'm going to remove some of the solder that they put on. Now we're going to go ahead and put our new solder. And for the rest of the pins, we're going to add just a little bit of flux. And instead of removing the solder first, we're just going to add a little bit of extra new solder and just make everything flow again, reforming those crack joints. And now I'm going to just do another cleanup with, again, isopropyl alcohol. Try to remove all that flux with the cotton swab. And then we'll finish it off with the toothbrush. Get rid of any fibers that might be left behind. All right, and we're left with beautiful joints. Okay, I just used a combination of my fiberglass scratch pen and a small metal brush to clear off some of the conformal coating. So now we can go ahead and add a little bit of flux, and we're going to re-solder some of these joints. All right, same thing, let's do a little bit of cleanup. Alright, it does look like for the most part I do have some good joints over here, but then a couple over here look a little bit flimsy, so I'm going to go ahead and go back again with a second coat, a little bit more solder here. And I'm not going to use flux. We'll see if I can just get away with the flux that's embedded inside of the solder itself. Alright, that does look a little bit better. Let's go ahead and check all of our joints by raking them. Okay, so we do have proper contact on every single one of those pins. Let's go ahead and rotate the board. Do this side next. And same thing, we're going to start with cleaning by removing the conformal coating. Alright, same thing, we'll add some flux, some fresh solder. Do a little cleanup here. Second around a little bit more solder. Okay, those joints look pretty good. Same thing, we're going to do a rake. All right, and we're all good here. We'll go ahead and proceed to do the other two sides off camera, and then we'll show you the final results. All right, we just finished resoldering the entire chip over here, and I just finished cleaning it up as well with our isopropyl alcohol. I rechecked all of our joints, and we have perfect joints now. Looking at the cluster as a whole, we have the screens over here, which are soldered on by these pins here. And those do also tend to have issues. So we're also going to go ahead and reflow those next. And that should complete our repair. So we'll do these over here for the smaller screen and this big row for the big screen. So I just finished reflowing all of the joints for the big screen over here, and for our smaller screen over here, I've also done all the joints. So we're all set there. Now I don't have a way for us to live test that right now, so we're gonna go ahead and give it back to the customer and then check back in and make sure everything works. If you have an instrument cluster that you wanna send in for us to fix, let us know. We'll have our contact information in the description down below. If you found the video helpful or useful, make sure to leave us a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.